The Toronto Raptors have found their next star in Grady Dick, as once again, he's put on a monster performance for this Raptors team and has broken his career high for the second time in 3 games. So we'll discuss that, including RJ Barrett looking dominant out there on the wings for this Raptors team. And despite losing Scottie, despite IQ being out with injury, the Raptors continue to play at a very high level, competitive basketball, and some of the funnest basketball we've seen over the past few seasons, despite having some tough outcomes to these performances. So we're going to break down everything that's going on with this Raptors team. But again, if you want to stay along for the ride, the beginning, year 1 of this rebuild as we build back that championship winning core, and you want to join the ride for Raptors Digest, hit that subscribe button. Over 67% of our viewers haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, and it means the world to me to, build up this community and enjoy these games with you guys. Because again, we came into the season unsure about how the record's going to look, what's going to happen, and basically a combo of obviously our players being young, some holes need to be fixed, some things need to be fixed on the defensive end, without a doubt, offensive end as well, but injuries have really plagued this team from, it's been playing incredible basketball in terms of effort, in terms of energy, and having some breakout performances from some of our top guys. And obviously the first guy that we have to talk about is Grady Dick, because again, this dude has just really unlock something in his game this offseason, because we saw all the hype, all the excitement in regards to Grady Dick putting on some muscle, getting more confident in his game in terms of doing different things out there on the basketball court, but everyone sort of projected him as, hey, he's a shooter first, right? Grady Dick, he's going to be, his ceiling is just one of those guys that hoists threes, that knocks down shots out there from behind the three-point line and plays an outside-in style game. And obviously, he's a three-point shooter. No, don't get that wrong, but honestly, this might be a hot take. This might be a little crazy opinion here. Grady Dick's been better at slashing, been better at finishing at the rim, and he has been knocking down his threes this season. And frankly, he has put up some great numbers in tonight's game as well. Right, only 2 of 6 on the three-point line, but had 30 points, did foul out in this one, but had 3 steals in this game, 11-17 from the field, and 2 of 3 from the three-point line. And teams, because again, he is an elite three-point shooter. Don't get me wrong when I say, hey, he's a slasher first or whatever. The reason those lanes are open, because all these teams have to close out on every single time he touches the ball outside the three-point line, because he can knock it down. He's that much of a respected shooter across the NBA. But the way he's just making reads, getting to his mid-range shot, hitting floaters, hitting, finishes around the basket, taking some contact, like, this is a really shocking performance. I mean, how many times, if you had to, I obviously don't have the stat on hand, but how many times did Grady Dick have 8 free throws in a game last season? I'm willing to bet it probably wasn't over once. It wasn't over twice. Like, unless there was some hack-a-shack stuff happening at the end of games. I mean, Grady Dick looks so much more confident, attacking the rim, finishing through contact, and that's what, separates you from, you're an elite shooter, which, again, a lot of players have had crazy awesome careers being elite shooters out there in the NBA. The JJ Redicks, the Kyle Korvers, those guys that have been out there in the mix and established themselves and had long NBA careers. But the difference between those guys and like star level players is the ability to slash, the ability to rebound, the ability to defend. And still a lot of work. Darko Rajaković even said in the post-game presser that Grady Dick, he had a decent game despite having, a really solid scoring night, but does need to improve out there on the defense and rebounding side. But he is bringing the hustle, bringing the energy on those ends of the floor, and especially his ability to slash. It just, this isn't just a 30-point shooter out there on the wing for the Toronto Raptors. This is a guy that is an all-around scorer for this team. So even had a nice little dunk, a nice little photo there for Grady Dick, yamming some stuff down in traffic. So again, awesome stuff from Grady Dick. Awesome stuff. Very, very excited about his development and how he's come along for this Toronto Raptors team. But obviously a guy that I'd argue is already established himself as a star for the Toronto Raptors just last year. It's RJ Barrett, and he's taken a major leap himself, over the course of this offseason. 31 points in tonight's game, had 8 assists in this one, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and without Scottie Barnes, right, RJ Barrett's going to be our top guy, our number one option, our number one piece. And we've always known from day one, RJ Barrett's going to be a guy that can slash the basket. He can finish around the rim. He can do those types of things. But the confidence that he has in his jump shot right now, we saw it over the Olympics, and we saw it in through stretches. In the first game of preseason, obviously he was injured for a ton of it. But RJ Barrett his ability to knock down the three-point shot just, again, unlocks his game. The same way Grady Dick. Grady Dick came in with the opposite end, wasn't a great finisher, but was a great three-point shooter. But when teams have to really close out, have to defend you, have to, can't really sag off or, be okay with you letting threes fly, that just completely changes everything for your slashing game. Because RJ Barrett's always had the strength, always had the touch, always had those things in his game in terms of being able to, score around the basket and do different stuff. But now with this added three-point shot, that is just huge, for his game and for, the direction of this Raptors team. So shout out to RJ Barrett, just looking real good. Looking real good out there. And Jakob Poeltl, again, 20 points in this one, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Jakob Poeltl is just establishing himself. It was a meme, when we acquired him, but he's a top 10 center in the league. And, injuries and the lack of success from the Raptors kind of let that meme die. But he's looking like a top 10 center this season. I don't think, again, this season, without a doubt, there's no arguing it, there's no debating it, but, Jakob Poeltl deserves all of his flowers right now because he had an ugly game at the start of this year and everyone was calling Jakob trash, oh, it's brutal, it's all this. But Jakob Poeltl is putting the NBA, putting the Raptors fans on notice with his performances, his touch around the basket. He's just looking way more confident out there, scoring around the rim. And a part of it's the improved free throw shooting. Obviously, you're more willing to go through contact to finish the basket if you know you're going to have a shot at making both of those free throws. So that's a part of it. Didn't have any free throws tonight, but I don't know, just looks way more confident out there on the court. So shout out to Poeltl there. And Mobo got the start in this one, and really 5 of 7 from the field at 25 minutes in this game, played some solid defense, lost his defenders at times, which is what it is. The three-point shooting for the Hornets was the main killer in terms of losing this game. The Raptors did end up losing this one, 133 to 1. Do I have their score? The Hornets won by like 6 or something. It was a close game there by the end. But Mobo, again, lost his defenders at times out there, but in terms of intangibles, in terms of the one-on-one defense, he brings it, man. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. I mean, if we were talking about a 30th overall pick or 31st, whatever the selection specifically was, right, putting up these types of numbers right away, right, Mobo was supposed to be a project. He was supposed to be a guy that, we're waiting to see in terms of how things are really going to shake out. But no, he had a really, really strong game in this one. Jamal Shed off the bench, 9 assists in this game. Davion Mitchell had 11 assists. Right, not a ton of scoring from those guys. I guess Mitchell had enough scoring, right? 11 points, 7 rebounds. Offense really wasn't an issue, but obviously I'm a Shed head out here, so I have some high expectations for our guy Jamal Shed if I had some animations brought up. But no, it's positives out there for Jamal Shed, Davion Mitchell. Not the craziest, most insane games. Battle didn't look as great tonight. Minus 19 out there, didn't have any points. Fernando at 3 minutes didn't have much of an impact. Abaji, again, we're hoping for him to step up a little bit with Scottie Barnes' absence. Still not a horrible game by any stretch of the imagination, 10 points. But again, losing some guys out there in the three-point line. The Hornets went absolutely nuclear out there in terms of their three-point shooting, right? Melo Ball had 4 threes. Trey Mann had 4 threes. Martin had 4 threes, right? Grant Williams had 3 threes, right? Green had, so there's so many guys that knocked down some three-point shots for the Hornets. So that's just tough to contend with out there for this team, especially without Scottie Barnes, without IQ. But, running through the box score, Boucher came off the bench, provided a ton of energy. Boucher is playing really well over the course of the season. So, loving what I'm seeing from Chris. Glad that he's back into the rotation for this team. But I don't know. I can see why people might be frustrated. Oh, we're 1-4 or whatever the heck our record is right now. But again, this team, coming out into this season, right? It's, people are talking, it's the Cooper flag show in terms of, I don't have my flag animation, my green screen set up. I gotta fix that. But, hey, we're capturing the flag. This season is what it is. We have a very tough schedule to start off this year. And frankly, our top 3 guys have been in and out of the lineup for the entire stretch. So, and then some of our key veteran role players have also been out with Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and even our rookie, right? We're seeing how valuable the rookies are for this Raptors team. Jakob Poeltl hasn't played a single second. So it's, the Raptors are dealing with a lot and they're fighting every single game. Again, a cold start in this game, not the greatest energy in the first stretch of this one, but as the game went along, they put up a lot of fight, and it's just great to see the development actually work and come into play for this Raptor squad. So lots of positives, lots of things to take away, but you guys are listening this far, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.